Hello and welcome to this episode. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your confidence is a tiny bit knocked? You're about to launch that online course, you're about to put that book out, you're about to do that first live stream, and some inner voice says to you that you can't do it. Well, that is not true. And today I have the master of confidence. Her name is Donna Gunn, founder of Unleash the Warrior. This episode, we're going to be giving at you with some tips and some techniques to unleash the warrior within you too. Donna, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Sarah?
Not too bad at all. Now, a lot of people look at me and they say, oh, Sarah, you've got it all together. You're an extrovert. You know, you're just so confident all the time. And the truth is, definitely not. And I have most truly, like most people, had my moments of crushing sense of dread and fear and will people criticize me? Will this be good enough? What if? Today you're going to share with us some tips. We've got a lot of course creators listening, experts, authors, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants. We're all having to shift. We all put ourselves in positions of leadership, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to find ourselves oozing with confidence every single day. Can you talk about, first of all, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your business, how it came about, and whereabouts in the world you are.
I'm in Australia, so Newcastle. And basically, I've had a lifelong history of lots of loss and heartbreak and all the, life journey. And I basically, the catalyst came when I lost my brother to suicide. And I just thought, I don't want any more lives lost. We can't deal with life in general anymore. It's changing. We're moving all online. We haven't got as much face-to-face anymore. So I decided to go back and train as a therapist and help people as much as I could.
Wonderful. So Unleash the Warrior was born. Now, how did you come across becoming the expert in this space of confidence? You've had these incredibly life-crushing moments happen to you. You've got through those. Some people that just kills forever. What was it that kind of you pinpointed this source of resilience, this source of moving forward and making something amazing with your life, despite the awful experiences you'd had? How did you pin that back to this all comes down to confidence?
Confidence is the foundation for anything in life. If you have the confidence, you can obviously move forward, do the things that you need to do, have the success. And confidence, you do need that to chase your dreams. Unfortunately, dreams just don't come to you. It's resilience goes hand in hand with confidence as well. So not only do you have to be confident and move forward, you have to be resilient, because there are going to be knocks. There's going to be life challenges every step of the way. And it's how you actually view them. I'm not saying that you can't have those down days, and everybody does. I do. I still do. But it's actually getting back up and letting that make you stronger to move forward. So we just basically, when I lost my dad, we'd nursed him, and I remember saying to him, it was a week before he passed away, and I said, how am I going to get through this, Dad? And he said, you're a warrior. You're an absolute warrior. You always have been, you always will be, and you'll get through it. And that's where the Unleash the Warrior came from, was basically my dad calling me a warrior.
Love it. That's beautiful. So it's sort of like a testament to Dad as well with what you're doing. So now I know, because I've worked with you for a while, you work with adults, with experts, with entrepreneurs, with executives, and help them keep that warrior alive so that they can lead the best they can, so that they can push through those crises when they come. They can push through moments of self-doubt, and it comes up for all of us. But you also work with children, help children unleash the warrior as well. So what I would love to hear today, because you are an expert in this space of confidence, there are a lot of people moving online at the moment. There are a lot of people in my Facebook group, Entrepreneur to Edupreneur Course Creators. And it's really interesting what I'm seeing in the expert space at the moment. I'm talking about top leaders in their fields who have been doing what they do for years. They're moving online, and everyone's starting to put their content into online courses, because obviously that's the way the world is moving and the only way we can reach our audience today. But despite the fact they've been doing their thing for many, many years, what I've seen in my Facebook group is that the biggest set of questions and posts coming up are not how do I use the tech, how do I use the equipment, how do I put a course plan together. All of the posts in my Facebook group at the moment, Donna, are about imposter syndrome. They're about the fear of going online. They're about the sense of self-doubt, fear of criticism. All of the posts are about imposter syndrome that are coming up. So what I would love to do today is, could we possibly get a couple of tips from you about how we can overcome this kind of moment of loss of confidence, imposter syndrome? How do we deal with that? Help us, Donna.
Look, there's no really short answer. There's definitely tips, but the first one is definitely you need to get back to basics and actually believe in yourself. Nobody is going to do that for you. You need to work out if you have those weaknesses. You need to also play on your strengths, but actually believe in yourself. And one of my red hot tips is manifesting and basically meditating. And you need to sit down and take that time to really question what it is, what you want, what you need to get there, and how do you do it. And manifesting is really powerful. I'm not quite sure if you do it. Maybe you do.
I do at least 1 hour a day. I do, with meditation and focused thought.
Absolutely. And you have to, if you need to do something in life, the first thing I do is, sometimes going online for me was harrowing. I normally stand in front of 50 people and train them on leadership, but then going online and everyone sort of says, oh well, it's just a video. I certainly have to question where my confidence was from, and basically the manifesting is incredibly powerful. You are giving yourself a whole list of things that you need your mind to do, and that's what it's basically coming back to. It's going back into your mind and telling it what you need it to do, and your mind will do what you tell it to do.
That's it. Amazing. So lovely tip there is to do some manifesting, focused thought, I like to call it, or some meditation. One of the things I love, Donna, like I found it's so easy to do, is there's so much available on YouTube for free.
Absolutely.
I love typing in like guided meditation for, and then like if I'm feeling stressed, I'll say stress relief. If I'm feeling like I'm focusing on financial abundance, I type that in, and there's all these meditations on that. If I feel like I need to have vitality that day, maybe I've got a full day of videos or calls to do with clients. It's amazing what's there. Do you have any other places that you find this content?
Well, basically, because of my therapy training, I know exactly what the mind needs to hear, and it's very, very basic. We are still primal. We still only need to hear a couple of things, and we need to know we're enough. We also need to know that we belong to a tribe or, family, whatever words you want to use to cement it all together. And they're basically it. We have primal instincts of, we want to belong to a tribe and feel like we have a role and a place in that tribe. We need to believe we're enough. So typing those things in is basically will give you an abundance of words to say, but it's picking those powerful words. The mind really latches onto powerful words and says, right, I can do that. Strength, courage, vulnerability, all of those things that, the mind needs to hear, and then it will actually take it forth, and it will slowly, but it will come over. And after 21 days, if you practice something properly for 21 days, it will set back into your subconscious, and that's where you need to operate from. But you can get online. Calm's a really good one for me. It's free. You can upgrade if you want to, but yeah, get onto Calm, and they basically have, ranging from about 6 minutes to 10 minutes of just, meditation and things that you can do to really change your direction and move forward.
Lovely. I've actually just downloaded the Deepak Chopra has an app, and it's really cool because all of the meditation programs on there are like 21-day programs, 21-day challenges. And I love them because, there's ones on success, there's finding your destiny, there's abundance, there's just loads on there. There's something for everybody. And I love the fact that it's over 21 days, and each meditation comes with a journal exercise which I found super powerful because I'm somebody who kind of manifests better when my thought turns into the written word. Like as soon as I see those handwritten scribbles down, and it's incredible, isn't it? The power of turning something from your head into that tangible thing, how much power it has on how you then behave for the rest of the day. Is there science behind that you can explain? Because I know this is, you know, you're qualified in this.
Yep.
How does this work when it comes to increasing our confidence as leaders? What's going on?
So basically, you know, the reason why programs are 21 days is that is a fundamental rule of the mind, is it takes 21 days to make something unfamiliar familiar to you. Or if you're trying to get rid of, you know, a bad habit, which we've all got bad habits, it will take 21 days to make the familiar unfamiliar. So that's a basic rule of the mind. And that's why the therapy that I practice in is unbelievable, because it's getting back to the basics and saying, okay, your subconscious has this program, and that's normally set by the time we're about 7. So if you're raising children, that's another big thing to really consider, is all of those things you've done from birth to the age of 7 are now cemented. It's all about nurture. Your children don't automatically arrive with a whole set of programming and they know what to do. You actually are putting that in there, and we're doing that, you know, subconsciously as well. So things that we learnt when we were younger, you know, if we haven't really addressed those issues, we are putting them onto our children, and that's sort of what's happening. We're seeing generational depression and anxiety coming through in the new generations because our parents didn't know any better. And that's what this therapy is so powerful about. It's actually going back to the subconscious, changing the program really rapidly, and then moving forward. But we all don't want to go and get hypnotized or you know, or be uncomfortable in that situation, which it's not, by the way, it's fantastic. But all of it is basically coming in, and we reprogram that, and for 21 days you go away and you listen to a recording, and that's similar to manifesting or meditating. It goes into your subconscious, and you basically come out and you've reprogrammed yourself from the core.
Incredible. And so how could we practically apply this incredible factual science into the everyday life of a course creator, an expert whose biggest fear is this getting in front of the camera thing? I mean, would it be wise to say, you know, do yourself like a secret 21-day challenge where you go live every day in a Facebook group, or where you practice in front of the camera every day, even on your own if you don't want to go in front of people? Like, what tip would you give people who are doing this transition online part when it comes to this?
Absolutely, the practice. And, you know, when I joined your course, the first thing that you actually said to us was get on and post a live in the Facebook group, you know, and I went, oh, you know, it was really quite, you know, scary, but I got on and I did it. And you speak honestly and openly. And if you practice that every single day, and like you said, you don't have to go and post it anywhere, but the live part that really got me from your advice was I didn't have anywhere to hide. I sort of was out there and I was sharing something. There was lots of ums and, oh, I don't know, and scratching my head and all those things. But it got me actually, once I'd done it, I went, that's not scary. And, you know, if people on the other side went, oh, what's she talking about? Does it matter? It doesn't really matter. We've all got something to say, and getting online is basically that practice. And your 30-day program is perfect for that, because you've had your 21 days of practicing, you've had then that last week, you're recording and you're getting that out there to the world. So not only is your course amazing, but it's timed perfectly for the mind to adjust to what it needs to do.
Wonderful. And so you know, you were talking about going back to our childhood to have a little peek maybe at where some certain conditioning might have come from, that is maybe the seed behind what might be knocking our confidence. Yeah. So I have a few things that always come up for me. I really, really care what people think about me. And I know I shouldn't, but I think for me, when I have my own fear, when my finger hovers hesitantly over a publish button on something, for me, I think it always comes back to, what if people won't like me? What if I'll get criticized? What if a troll poo-poos me? So you talked about how can we, without going in and getting hypnotized and seeing a therapist, which is ideal, what we should do if we do want to really kind of find these holes and fill them in and move on from them. What can we do from home to kind of take a peek back at what is it that caused that? What can I do when I'm having my moments of self-doubt to try to find out what the source of that is?
It basically leads back to one thing, and traditional therapy will have you believe that there's been thousands of events in your life that have, made you feel like you're not enough. But it's actually that we weren't programmed to believe it in the first place. So yes, we all have events and we all have major disasters and traumas in our life, but that really doesn't strip you of confidence. If you already had it, you'll still have it no matter how you go through that traumatic experience. It's that we never ever got given it, and it's because no one really knew any better. It's actually just about believing you are enough. It sounds too simple to be true, but it is. You actually just have to believe that you're enough. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. And the best way to do it is we go into a state of an evening just before we go to sleep, and it's called theta. And it's basically the closest you can get to subconscious mind to other than hypnotization. So basically, if you write down everything that you need to hear, so a good indication is, what do you like to be told? Do you like to be told you're clever, or you're gorgeous, or you're beautiful? And there's no right or wrong in that. Whatever you want to hear, and
all of those.
You can what you see from others. Yeah, what you see from others, and your children will tell you exactly what they need to hear. They'll go, "Oh, mummy, aren't I clever?" Or, my husband, I'll fish for compliments. And that's what we need to hear. So you write all of those things down. And also other things that you want to tell yourself, I'm successful, I'm, accomplished, I'm talented, I can do that online course, I can, get that promotion. Whatever success or happiness looks like to you, write that down. And as you go to bed of a night and you start to get sleepy, read all of those things to yourself, and you're in theta. And if you do that for 21 days, that is going to reprogram you for complete success, basically.
Amazing. That's wonderful. It just never ceases to amaze me how all of these massive things always come back to the simplest actions. Like, the solutions to our biggest problems are so simple, but it's just, it's making sure we do that. I guess it's having the discipline to do those things every single day. Okay, well, we're coming close to the end of our episode. Course creators, experts that are out there, they're going, all right, okay, Donna, this is great. I do all of my, focused thinking. I do these affirmations at the right times, but I need to record this online course. And I just can't bring myself to publish this course. I mean, can you just give me something when we're in that moment? And I'm so scared of pressing publish. What can we do here? The moment of glory, the classic imposter.
It is, and that imposter syndrome affects everybody. Like you mentioned before, it affects you and it affects me. We are basically, at the end of the day, only human, and you can manifest and you can do all those things. But I do know that when I was doing the online course creation with you, you were driving me at the end to go, come and get it, get it done. And there was that moment of, I'm going to be online and I'm going to be, out there, and what are people going to say? And what are people going to think? What are my friends going to say? All those things. But it's actually about sitting down, and that is the perfect time to take that step back, that manifesting that we're talking about, and trying to strip your mind of any of those negative thoughts. And you can do that by, the best way to do it also is go for a walk, get those endorphins pumping, and really just keep chanting to yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, then press publish. And walk away if you need to, but you just need to do it. And however you can, and like I said, walking, getting the endorphins, and then basically taking that giant big leap is how you do it.
Yeah, it's you know what, I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people create and publish their courses, and it's so interesting to watch the different way people react to finally pressing the publish button, because that is it is the big moment that we have all worked our way up to. There's this all this work, and then there's this crescendo moment where you press the button, and it's almost like you expect the world to suddenly applause and fireworks to go off, and you just kind of go publish. Oh,
it's done. And that was me on Friday night when I published the course. This had just pushed myself for over a month, and just had a few delays here and there and a trip away and everything. And it was all coming up to this moment on Friday where I was sitting in front of the computer and going, oh, I'm going to do this. And once I pressed it, I mean, obviously I felt elated, but I was like, that wasn't so bad. Like what was I worried about? And that's the thing with humans. We talk ourselves out of everything that we need to do when it's actually just about going, I'm going to manifest that. I'm going to do the best that I can and I'm going to get it done. And that take action is super important, because then what it does, it also creates a whole new wave of confidence, and you can do this, and then your life just starts to slowly flow through. Oh, I'm going to do another one. And I've already written the content for my second course, and it's basically happened over the weekend, and that's because it gave me that sense of, I've done it, I've achieved it. That wasn't bad. That was actually loads of fun. And the more positivity that you have, and the more you think positive, it will just keep you along.
Yeah, it's like this growing snowball, isn't it? That, once that inertia is moving, it just starts having this kind of energy of its own, and it becomes addictive, doesn't it? You kind of get over that first published moment. Yep. And, you realize that it's not being published at the 6 o'clock news. You realize that there are 5 million people sat on your website waiting to criticize it. And you're like, oh, that was fun. And there's like, everyone who works for me ends up getting quite addicted to the process and like goes on to create course 2, 3, 4, 5. So Donna, we've touched on here that obviously you've mentioned a few times in this episode that you did work with me in my concept course program to create yours. Now, we look at you. You are a qualified professional in this space of confidence, of resilience, of therapy, of unleashing the warrior within us. And we look at you, we see this accomplished, successful woman who has got through massive things. You're the queen of confidence, quite frankly. But, and I say that because people look at me and say the same thing. How was it for you moving from what you have traditionally done face to face? You've always done it, in one particular way. Did you have moments of self-doubt when you were creating your course? Like when you were looking down the barrel of that lens and starting to film, were there moments when you found this challenging, this process?
Oh, absolutely. There were lots of moments like that. Obviously, I'm a sort of a positive person to begin with. So every time, that little negative self-talk came in, I was able to go, no. Look, what we need to do is you just need to bite the bullet, and you need to do that, and you need to press record and get forward. But it was incredibly important for me to move online, because I am only one person. I can only see a certain amount of people, of clients per day. And I want to change a lot of people's lives, and limited to 12 hours a day to what you can do. I have 5 children, so that's obviously trying to get around running them to their sports and trying to see clients and looking after my family. So going online for me was the next step in saying I can spread myself a bit thinner. I can create the exact same content that I give to somebody who comes and sees me in my home. I can actually create that. Someone can go and do the course and basically come out in exactly the same manner. It will take a bit longer than coming to see me and being hypnotized, but it will actually give them exactly the same content, and they can do more of a self-paced course. But it was the only way that I could move forward. And it wasn't until I met you that I actually was able to put the process into basically a timeline and get it happening, basically.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And it's it really is interesting how I think that accountability of moving, of doing what we know we need to do, what we know we're capable of doing. But, there are so many different ways of creating an online course. There's not really necessarily right or wrong rules. Each individual is the expert in their thing, and however you feel you want to communicate that with the world is okay. We all have our own way of communicating, our own way of sharing, our own way of doing, speaking, framing, contextualizing what it is that we do, which is why I say everyone has something to teach, no matter how much competition, quote unquote, for those listening, is out there, because it doesn't matter how many other people are teaching confidence or how many other people are teaching online course creation. We all present in different ways, and we all connect different types of human beings to us, who won't necessarily be connected to the other person who's sharing a similar message. So can you tell us a little bit about, so you said obviously one of the biggest things for you about going online was being able to reach more people. I mean, the second we press that publish button, we immediately have a global marketplace, which is one of the most exciting things. You help more people. What was the whole process like? You joined the Concept of Course program. It's a 30-day program. Do you feel, I mean, how do you feel that helped you?
Oh, unbelievably. You know, I have wanted to do an online course for years, you know, a long time. And it wasn't until my business mentor came to me and he said, if you want to do an online course, Sarah is the person to go and see. And what I looked around, because money, we've got 5 kids, and any money that I spend from the business, I'm really cautious of spending. And basically I looked into you, researched you, had a look at the quality of what you're producing. And that was the big secret for me, is I'm a therapist, so I can't go out there with, just any video or me pulling up a phone, or I have to reach certain audiences. And basically it's the quality that won me for you, and having a look at you. And like you said, there's competitors with everything. And, there's people that I could have gone with, but when I looked at you, it was the quality, and it was also the fact that you're authentic. I could actually, I watched all of your videos and went, she's really authentic. She seems really down to earth and really nice. And that's my personality. And I think in general, it's a lot of people as well. And I knew I was going to be vulnerable doing this course. So I really wanted someone that was going to be there that was really authentic for me along that process.
And I think this is one of the most powerful things we can do as experts, as we're going out to the world, is that whole going live on Facebook, that whole getting on the camera and uploading something to YouTube is going to be the key to your success. Once you've got these tips from Donnie, you've got that big filled up cup of confidence, so many people will make decisions on who they work with based on whether they feel like they like them. And it's, you've mentioned that the quality thing was there, but more often than not, a lot of people say to me, they could have gone with any other competitor, just like they could with you, Donna, just like they could with anyone. They're going to look at you and they're going to look at your competition, and they will make decisions on, do I like that person? Do I feel like I could get on with them if we went and had a cup of tea at the cafe together? And this will only happen, this connection, this decision can only come if we take a deep breath, we unleash that warrior within, we find that confidence, and we just press publish. We just press record. We just press upload. We just press go live and do it. That's the only way, isn't it?
And that's the thing, connecting with people. That's another rule of the mind, is we must connect, and connecting with people is vital. And yeah, basically I won't work with people if I don't feel that immediate connection. I'm very lucky. I do have that personality where people can come and feel confident and feel safe enough to share, because it is, a very private moment. But if you can't connect with someone, that you shouldn't really work with them, because you need that connection to bring value to someone else's life. And that's what I had with you. And that's why I've gotten so much value out of that 30-day process.
That's amazing. And what would you say to anyone who is thinking about creating an online course? I mean, there's a lot of experts out there listening to this. They know the world's going online, but there still just feels like this massive storm of overwhelm around them. Like the whole thought of just starting the process just makes them go, I don't know where to begin. You've been through the process now. You now are such a master at creating online courses. You have 2, and we're going to talk about what those are in just a second. But what would you say to somebody who is thinking about creating a course, but the whole thing just feels terrifying?
Basically do it. Hop on with with you, it wasn't, you know, at the start of it, I was so excited, and your content within the course is just so self-explanatory. It's such a good process that you just go, yep, we do 1, we do 2, we do 3. You make it so simple to actually get on. Yes, there are moments where it's really difficult to pull, you know, that inner warrior and push through, but you've told us how to do it. So it's not, you don't know what to do, you know, it's actually, you're telling us what to do. We do need to bring a lot to the table in, you know, in confidence and getting those things done. But the process is all written out for you, and you will not get that to that quality anywhere else. So you just have to enroll. That's exactly what you need to do. And if you don't enroll now, you know, or in the next few months, I think you will be left behind, and I think you'll really regret it. So I think it's about, you know, taking that massive, there's no risk involved with Sarah. That's how I've always felt about you. There is no risk. It's the process, you do it, and you get a course online in 30 days.
So, love it. And you did. You've gone on and done number 2. It's incredible. So, I mean, this is the thing. You said you've got to turn up. I do in my programs. I show you exactly what you need to do, exactly how to do it, and I am there holding your hand and gently and lovingly kicking you up the bum bum as well to keep it going, keep it moving. But
everyone needs that. Everyone needs that.
Yeah, but you did it right. So in 30 days, you came on the Concept to Course program, and you have turned your amazing qualified expertise into 2 programs. So for those who are watching the video version of this podcast episode, Donna has a beautiful picture up behind her, which is her first course. Donna, tell us which course you created there.
So it's 5 steps to creating confident, healthy and resilient warriors. So raising your children, and basically what we went back to before was by the time they're 7, they really have all that programming. So what I'm really hoping to do is to make it much easier for parents to, you know, really look at how they're parenting from that 1 to 7. But also, if your children are over 7, not all's lost. You know, we just actually need to go back, understand those rules of the mind, get them reprogrammed for success. And then basically those other tips of eating healthy and moving and, you know, installing those, you know, that behavior in your children that you expect, and that unfortunately the world expects, you know, to be a, you know, valuable citizen. You do need to behave in certain ways so you can, you know, succeed in life. So it's basically getting back to the fundamentals and then rebuilding it back up. And it's incredibly simple. And, you know, it's once you actually do the course, you're like, why didn't I think of that myself? You know, it's all very simple, but it's just putting it into steps that you can go, I can do that, and I can move forward, and I can raise incredible children.
And I love it. And that's the name of the course, is Raising Warriors, for those that do want to go and check that out. Sometimes I'm a mum of 2, and I sometimes feel like I'm raising demons. But I really love this concept. We're talking about, if you want to achieve anything, you know, listen to the expert, because your job in your space, Donna, is to break that process down. It's to explain how, explains the why, explains the steps. And it gives us those practical, implementable concepts and tasks and activities that we can put into place right now to help our children be strong of mind, to be confident in themselves, and to grow up and take their place in the world. So it's an amazing course, and I really encourage you guys to go and check that out. Now, you're also got number 2 ready to press that publish button. Can you tell us about number 2? Because this is the one I'm super excited.
Yeah. That's formidable confidence. And yeah, it's basically 4 steps to unleashing your inner warrior. And again, it's going back to basically what our programming is. What do we need to change? What do we need to hear? And getting that program put back into you, and doing it at home. You can do it over the 21 days. Basically, when, you know, I see a client and we do some hypnotherapy and we go back, it does happen a lot more rapidly. But I understand that not everybody has the money to, you know, to have their one-on-one time with me. But the most exciting thing that I think that does really make my courses stand out is that everybody gets half an hour free with me at the end of their course. So any questions they have, they
Wow.
basically, come and Zoom me. They can have a bigger conversation with me. They can talk about a personal issue. I can give them tips on moving forward. That's what I wanted to offer, to not just stand out, but give people value. Once they've finished the course, go, wow, that's incredible. But I also get to speak to the course creator and a therapist, and I might be able to get, X, Y, and Z off the table and no longer be an issue for me. So hopefully that really helps some people.
Wow, what a value add-on, actually having a live session. I mean, that is just amazing. This is the cool thing that I think people can do with online courses is, you kind of immortalize the knowledge that people can go through at their own pace without you being physically involved in that process. But to then be able to come and personalize that learning experience with the expert, with the therapist, that is just such a massive value add-on, Donna. I mean, how incredible. Now, these two courses, where can people find these two courses that you've created?
So they're in my Thinkific school. I'll share my link with you. But yeah, basically it's Unleash the Warrior. And yeah, they're both sitting there waiting for you to go and have a look. And hopefully I can change your life too.
That's amazing. Now, in the show notes below, there will be links to Donna's courses. How else can people follow you, get into your world, and be in this amazing circle? You attract incredible people, and you hold a beautiful space. How can people get into that space and follow you around, Donna?
So I'm basically Unleash the Warrior on all of my platforms. So pretty easy to find. YouTube's a bit harder because there are a lot of people out there with Unleash Your Inner Warrior and things like that. But yeah, if you type Unleash the Warrior anywhere, I will pop up.
That's wonderful. So there will be lots of links below to Donna's social profiles. Donna Gunn, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you today all about confidence. You've certainly given me a little boost today. I've got a day full of calls in front of me. It's been wonderful speaking with you. Thank you for sharing your tips with us. It doesn't matter who we are in the world, what we're doing, where we are, all of us have moments of confidence crises, and it's a wonderful reminder that we are all human and that there is definitely something we can do to help move forward when those moments happen. Do you have anything to share with us before we go?
No, I just want everybody to really understand that this, we're in a pandemic at the moment, and just, always stay positive as much as you can, and just try and move forward and make sure that every day counts. That's a really important thing, time with your loved ones, making the most of this situation, spend more time with your children. But just stay positive and move forward every single day. Make a positive step in the direction that you want to take.
I'm feeling confident already. Amazing. So don't forget to check out the links below for Donna's programs. And of course, if you are ready to unleash your warrior, if you are ready to get out there, to share your message, to help people all around the world, you can create your very own online course, just like Donna has on my Concept to Course program. It's a 30-day group coaching program, and you can find out more about when the next program is at sarahcordner.com/do it. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all very soon on another episode of Course Creators Podcast. Bye for now.